Hey, welcome to the Keep It Cute Show.
This episode, we're going to talk about making friends as an adult.
Yes, and today we have a very special guest. Our girl, Kheri Carter from Ready to Love DC is going to be here chatting with us. Welcome, Kheri.
Hello.
Thanks for coming.
having me, ladies.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit about it, because for those who may not know you, talk about where you're from, because you're not originally from DC.
Correct.
So you've made moves as an adult.
Correct.
So talk about that a little bit.
So yes, I am from Texas. I was born in Dallas. I moved here from Houston in October 2017. So I just wanted a fresh start. I was ready to leave Texas and try DC. Never even visited DC before I moved. No.
So what about DC?
I just heard great things. Like I heard there's...
You heard it was Chocolate City?
Chocolate City. Because I was single at the time. I was like, I want to meet a man who's successful.
Right.
I mean, you do have that in Texas. But even though Houston is big, it's still very small when it comes to that type of... network. When it comes to professional men and men who are desired, most of them were probably married or they had the kids. And for me, at that point, I didn't want to be with someone on that level, of course, not with children. So I moved to DC, not just for a relationship, just for change. Yeah. I heard great things about Black people thriving here. I was used to being in like a predominantly white suburban area. And I wanted to be in an area where Black people were thriving in a nice neighborhood where I can see them being the bosses, the CEOs, the owners. So it was just great. So once I moved here, I was like, oh, it literally felt like home probably that first month. It all soaked in. Yeah. Once I moved into my place and unpacked, I was like, I'm going to be here for a while.
I always tell people that the DMV to me feels like the American version of Wakanda. I say that because there's so many different types of Black people there. They're doing so well. Yeah. You don't see that everywhere you go. And there's very rare, like, there are like only a couple places in the United States that's like that, but I feel like there's like such a big population of like Black professionals here.
So I'm one of the rare DC natives. Like I was born, I am from here. I was born and raised in Southeast DC. And so one thing that we always say that DC is a very transient city. Most people that you meet are not originally from here because of the career opportunities. We have our government here. We have, like you said, a lot of successful African-American people here. And then our counties in Maryland, right outside of DC, Prince George's County, Anne Arundel County, we're the wealthiest counties of African-American in the entire country. But enough about the DC area.
That's why I'm here.
Right, exactly. So welcome you to DC.
Thank you.
So here's the thing. As an adult, when you're moving to a new city, or even if you're not from a new city, even if you're just here and you want to try to meet new people and expand your network, that could be hard as an adult. So
absolutely.
You were in your 30s when you moved here.
I was. Yeah.
How did you expand your network and try to meet new people here?
So honestly, when I moved here, I knew one person. She was someone who I went to college with. We weren't even like close friends at the time. We knew each other from college. We stayed in touch on social media. I reached out to her and I was like, I'm considering moving to DC. Like, what are your thoughts? And she's like, oh girl, she's been here for 10 years. Yeah. So she was like, yeah, come through. And so once I got, confirmed a job and all that stuff to move here, she opened her doors to me and let me stay in her home for like 3 weeks until my apartment was ready. And once she did that, she also took me under her wing. She introduced me to her girlfriends, which happened to be a great quality group of girlfriends who have become lifers for me. Like a lot of them have become my own personal girlfriends. Of course, I took the time to develop my relationships with them. At first, it was like us all hanging out as a group, and then it turned into more like one-on-one. Let's meet up for brunch. Let's have drinks. I also had met a girlfriend previous in Houston, a guy who I was dating. It happened to be his homegirl. There's a long story behind that. We're
going to keep it cute.
She did not become a lifer, but she was a great intro to DC. So once I moved to DC, her and I connected. She became actually a very close friend of mine once I moved here and introduced me to the cigar club. I met a lot of people from the cigar world.
The cigar club.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sure you could meet some great men that way too.
I did. That's when I was meeting the zaddies. But no, I met a lot of great women there too. So I became well acquainted very quickly once I moved to DC.
Yeah.
But my personality is I'm an extreme extrovert.
Yes, you are.
You are.
Yes,
You're such a social girl.
I'm a sociable person.
Yeah.
I ride out, like, I get energy from other people, like big groups. I like that type of environment. So it was a no-brainer for me to just be able to go out and meet people and network and all that stuff.
So how long were you here before you decided to go on Ready to Love?
I was here for 3 years, almost 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because I was like, that's my first introduction to you, right? Like, you were the one who decided to orchestrate that dinner. You were like, okay, you invited all the ladies from our season to meet the ladies from your season. And that was the first time I met you.
Yes.
But that's such a classic Kheri thing now that I know you, to bring women together. Be like, hey, let's all get together. Let's do something fun. Let's do something different. So like, very social, very good at like building community. Yeah, I would say that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I definitely love that. Like me and Brian, we like to do events at the house. And one of the reasons why we do that is because we want to connect good people with good people. And especially in DC, it's hard to meet a lot of people who are like genuine. Because you know, when you move here, the first thing they ask you is what?
What do you do?
Yes. What do you do?
What do you do?
What do you do? Who do you know? And I'm not used to that. I'm used to the South where it's like, that's considered rude. Yeah. So when people were asking me, what do? I used to kind of play around, be like, oh, you know, I'm a stripper. I'm an escort. And I'm like, oh, you know, or just, you know, I'll just play around, or I just won't answer the question. Yeah. But I know it's just part of the culture of being here. Yeah. But once I did meet people who were like genuine ladies who weren't just all about that, I appreciated that type of spirit and energy.
You mentioned that your friend was like, God bless her, was able to introduce you to people. How did you meet people outside of that community? Are you like one of those stereotypical like Washingtonians who are like, I hike on the weekend and therefore I'm going to join
I'm not hiking on the weekend. I don't know what Washingtonian doing that. So that's y'all transplants that hike. We're not hiking.
That is a transplant.
There's a transplant, like a lot of the like young professionals.
They
like,
have the black hikers.
Yeah.
I joined the bicycle club.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
See?
Oh my goodness.
It's always some type of activity.
It was
us
so
natives,
much fun.
I mean, I can't speak for all of us, but I'm not hiking. Growing up where I grew up, you were in the house by the time the street lights come on, because if you hiking or walking at night, something else going to happen. Yeah. It is not a leisurely stroll anywhere.
No, I enjoyed the bike. That was something that happened during the pandemic. Okay. I was like, I can't, y'all know I'm an extreme extrovert. So I was like, I can't stay in this house. I'm going to go out of my mind. So that's when I was introduced to the bicycle club. I got my expensive bike and I was outdoors all the time, like either with a group or by myself. So I was introduced to another group of people in that way, which was very nice. And I lost weight. I mean,
you would recommend it. You recommend signing up for whatever the activity is, whatever it is.
If you move here, you do have to make an effort because it is cliquish, right? Like people, if you're already in DC, or if you are from DC, or you've lived here for a while, you already have your group, you already have your circle. Right. And a lot of people aren't open to bringing you in a way where if you just introduce yourself at a party, they're like, oh, you should come to our gathering we're having the next weekend. Like it has to be for a reason, or you're already in an organization or something like that.
So let's talk about that part. So you had it good because you're a very extroverted person. You have made a lot of great friends and were introduced to other networks. That doesn't happen for a lot of people. A lot of people really struggle with making friends in their 30s. Like, have you had, I mean, I know I have had this experience, but have you had an experience where you thought you met someone and you thought that they were a cool person, and come to find out that ain't your friend?
They raggedy, child. There's a lot of raggedy women. No, yes, I have encountered that a lot, and it's crazy. I think I was saying this just the other day, even on my IG, like, it was easier to meet people when you're a kid.
Of course.
Like, it was easy to make friends when you're a kid because everybody's so innocent. They're not jaded. They haven't been hurt. So you're like, oh, will you be my friend? That's how I made friends as a kid. I would ask them to be my friend and they'd be my friend. Or, you know,
I can see little Kheri doing that.
My big cheeks and asking. Yeah. But you can't do that as an adult because you're not sure if this person is friendly, right? You're not sure if they're a good person. So you're a little bit more cautious. I had to learn that moving here. So back in home in Houston, my friends, I've been friends with them for 20 plus years. Once I moved here, I had to learn how to like have discernment as friends or making friends, being more cautious, being more careful, not being so open. Because I did get burned a few times by women where I thought they were for me. They turned out to be crazy or two-faced or selfish. I had a friend who I was very, very close with. You have a lot of women who use you when they're not happy. They use your energy to bring that happiness to them.
Seriously.
And I felt like I was running into a lot of women like that.
Yeah.
I was their crutch, or they depended on me to always just be there.
When they were available and when it was convenient for them.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Only for them. And if I got to a point where I was like, I can't be there, it turned into, they turned cold or mean or, just very selfish. So those were signs that I was running to a lot of women like that where I was like, I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
Like, that's too much pressure on me. And this needs to be a two-way friendship.
I've dealt with that with women who I felt like when they were single, we were like, attached at the hip. We were doing all these things together. As soon as they got in a relationship, they went ghost. They didn't want to do anything without their partner.
My man.
Yeah, I get, girl, you happy, you in love or whatever, but like, come up for air. We still out here. We still want to see you. You know what I'm saying? But like, if it didn't revolve around the new situation, I would no longer see them. And that would frustrate me. Yeah. So I was like, so was I just like your wingman? Yeah. Until you found someone? Or did we have like a real friendship? So like that using part when it was convenient for you.
Yeah. And that's a hurtful, once you realize that's who you are to that person, it's very hurtful, and then you have to kind of remove yourself from that friendship because now they're just using you for a benefit for themselves, right?
Right.
So, and I have had friends like that. And even me being in a relationship, I try to be mindful of making sure I'm spending my one-on-one times with my girlfriends or going to brunch, or if they want to be around me, not asking to bring him around all the time. And plus, I want to have that independence anyway.
I want to have that girl time. I just need the girl time.
Like, it's great to have a great relationship with your significant other and your partner and spend time with them, but it's nothing like having some girl time. I always say that I want to have that community. I mean, I'm sorry, I want to have that quality time with my partner, but having that camaraderie and that girl thing, the stuff that you can talk about with your girls about your guy.
Yeah, because you need to be able to let it out.
I want to be able to go on a girl's trip. I want him to go on a guy's trip. I want to have that separation so it's not all about the relationship. Yes. You need that balance.
Yeah. And that's the reason why having girlfriends you can trust is so important, because they need to know that you're venting.
Exactly.
Right? Like, I'm not trying to leave my man. I'm venting right now.
That's the hard thing. But I always say you still can't tell a girlfriend all the good and all the bad, especially for my family. It depends on the girlfriend. But for my family, I can't tell them all the bad because they're going to still hold that grudge. Even when I get over it and we're in a good place, they're like,
you still got to protect your partner.
What you did. Exactly.
Protect your partner.
I actually, when I was in Ghana, me and Brian met up with another married couple. They've been married for like 40-something years. And I asked them, like, what did you do to stay together? Like, how are you still? Because they actually look like they like each other. Go figure. Yeah.
After 40 years, that's a feat.
Yeah. Right. And she told me, she was like, one of the things that stuck out the most to me was she said she did not tell people their business. Like when she was angry with him, it would be between them because she knew that other people's opinions would shift because they're not in love with him. They're not in a relationship with him. So she was like, keep people out of your business.
Right.
But then, like you said, you do have a couple of girlfriends where there's no judgment.
Yeah.
Where they're like, okay, well, when you're happy, I'm happy with you. When you're pissed off at him, I'm pissed off with you. That's the type of girlfriends that I go to my problems with. Like this nigga, he pissed me. Like, girl, no, he didn't. Next say, okay, we're good. I love him again. Yeah. Okay, well, good. I'm glad you're right.
Exactly.
That's how, but not everybody's like that. So you got to be careful of who you tell your business to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How do you feel about your friends liking your partner?
Is that a must?
Is that a must, or is it like, how do you feel about that? Because personally, I do prefer for my partner to get along with my friend. They don't have to be best friends, but I need y'all to have at least some type of rapport, right? Where it's not like, it's really hard when your partner does not get along with your friends. You know what I'm saying? And if you have friends that genuinely care about you, it really shouldn't be that hard. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's important to me. Yeah. It's important to me. And you need to have like a genuine reason why. Like if you're just making up some shit, then you're probably hating.
Right.
You're hating. And I'm going to have to I have more questions. But if it's like a genuine concern or there might be some toxicity there, I do want that friend to be honest with me if they see some red flags,
Because sometimes they can see things that you can't
Correct.
see. Our rose-colored glasses might be blinding us from some real obvious stuff that your friend is like, girl, do you not see that?
But can you really take that opinion from your girlfriend?
I will listen to it. It doesn't mean I'm going to always agree with it.
Yeah, I'm not going to take
I'll hear what you say, but it doesn't mean that I'm really going to change
Exactly. I appreciate your perspective. It's a different perspective than mine. I'll keep an eye on it. Doesn't mean I'm actually going to do what you say.
Yeah, and it also depends on what girlfriend it's coming from. Yeah. Right? It has to be a girlfriend who you trust, who really is looking out for your happiness and wants you to be happy. Not that girlfriend is just looking for an error so you can come back and be in the streets with them. You know what I mean?
Because there are some friends like that. They go, oh, girl, you should leave him. And he's trash. He did what? Remember when he did such and such?
Yes.
Girl, we going to the club tonight.
And there's just women out there that believe that all men are trash.
Yeah.
And they're just waiting for your man to slip up or whatever. So you'd be like, see, girl, I told you. I told you.
You got to be careful with those girlfriends who are quick to tell you to leave your man.
Right.
You should just, I never tell anyone to break up with somebody.
Exactly.
I'll listen. I'll give my opinion of like whatever decision you make. I'm here for you, sis, or whatever. If it's like an abusive type thing, I'm going to have to, put my foot down for my friend.
Yeah.
But if it's just, some errors or whatever, you handle it as you want. And you come to me with your problems.
Absolutely.
And I will talk to you. I'm not going to give you the answer of what you should do if you're not going to ask me, So you have those different type of girlfriends, and everybody has those different categories on who you can go with. I know a girlfriend who I can't necessarily talk to her about my problems because there is going to be a judgment tone, undertone, or it's going to be like, well, what are you going to do? It's going to give me more anxiety. Than helping me.
Yeah. So now that you've met friends in your adulthood, you've been able to meet people. Have you had a crazy experience with a new friend? Drake said no new friends, but in this season, we're getting new friends. Have you had a crazy experience with a new friend?
I have. I've had a few crazy experiences. Like, I had an experience with a friend who changed when she would drink. And it wasn't like a positive change or she was fun. She was mean.
They said your true colors come out when you drink.
She was a mean drunk. Was so mean where it was like uncomfortable because she was mean to other people. She got us kicked out of a couple of Ubers.
Oh, not the Uber. We're on the side of the street in DC?
Yes, would talk to people crazy. And I called her. It's funny because I told her she would... we had a name for her. I think it was Ellen or something like that because I told her she acted like a racist white lady. She was black. But I was like, you act like a racist white lady when you get drunk. And she did. And it's funny because she would get this, like her eyes would get real small and then her demeanor, it's like personality change. I was like, oh shit.
Scary.
That's kind of scary. It was. And I could see it because once I started to get to know her, I was like, okay, she's drunk because now she's turned into racist Ellen. And so once it became like, you're putting me in uncomfortable positions, like you're being very disrespectful.
Yeah, that's not safe.
No, it wasn't safe. And the next day she wouldn't remember anything. And so she was talking.
Did she not remember
my question, Bella. Did she really
was she just pretending?
Did she really not remember? It might have been an act. Who knows?
Convenience.
All I know
Convenient amnesia.
I don't want to participate. I'm good on this. So I think that was probably the craziest encounter. Also, like, a friend who I became friends with very, very, very quickly. And this is why I say you got to take your time with making friends, because picking friends and making new friends is kind of like dating, right?
Yeah, so it really is.
Yeah, you got to let the layers unfold. Like they have their representative right now. So everything is great. They seem like an amazing person, but they're still human. So you got to let the flaws start to come out.
I always say that you have to pick your friends like you pick your fruit. You have to wait for it to ripen before you can actually really enjoy it.
Yes. And see how they are in different scenarios, or
that part.
When you have your first disagreement, how do they disagree with you,
that's so important.
This particular friend was not good with disagreements, and it was very a selfish type of disagreement and kind of dismissive.
Yeah.
And also, like, she just, when it came to men, she kept putting me in very uncomfortable positions with that. Like, we went out drinking one time. I went with her. I was her date. She brought me to this particular party. This new guy who she was dating, he was there. She knew I was drunk and I rode with her. And she was like, oh, well, I'm going to go with him. So and we're an hour out.
Oh,
so
no.
Uber would have been like $150, $200. I was like, I don't have a way home. She was like,
follow my college rules. We came together, we leave together.
Exactly.
She kept putting me in those type of positions. And she just handed me her keys and she was like, okay, you can just drive my car home. I was like, I'm drunk.
Right.
You know, so after that, I was like, okay, she doesn't necessarily care for me. She doesn't care for me. She doesn't care about my well-being.
Not considerate. Yeah.
And when it came to a man, it was like all bets are off. Like I tunnel vision on just being with this man. And I noticed that that's who she was. Her personality, that's just what she would do when it came to that. It kind of gave thirsty, not gonna lie. But after that, I was like, I'm good on this friendship, you know, because it was very one-sided. I feel like I was very supportive and trying to be a good friend to her, but I wasn't getting that back. So I did learn moving here that I have a right to create those boundaries and expect a good friend to be to me like I am to them, you know? So I had to just start cutting folks off.
So I was just gonna ask you, like, so what do you do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, friendships are relationships. They're going to have their ups and their downs. You're not always going to see eye to eye. They're going to do something to piss you off or annoy you or whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that? Like, I guess, like, are you, because I know people who just cut people off. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a situation right now where I was like, I don't even know what the hell I did.
We both in that same situation. We both got cut off.
I don't even know what the hell happened. We're going to keep it cute. And I'm going to tell you about that.
You might not. I don't know what's going on.
Anyway.
So I'm like, so how do you deal with a situation where you feel like, okay, you may have love for that person. How do you know when it's time to try to fix it versus time to walk away? Like, what does that look like for you?
I think it's just, it matters what the level of that friendship is. If it's brand stinking new, I don't feel like I need to explain anything. Like, we haven't really built anything. It's not a history there. So I'm just good on you.
Yeah.
You know, we're just going to fade it to black. Me and my sister call it fade it to black. Eventually they'll get it. We're just not friends anymore. If it's someone who I've spent a significant amount of time with, I'm going to let you know. You know, I'll send you a message or I'll be like, you know, it'll be like a breakup, you know?
Are you going to sit them down? Are you going to invite them out and like...
Maybe, probably not. It could be.
It might be a phone call. It might be a text message.
It might be a text message. It probably would be a text message more than a phone call. So I don't feel like going back and forth. But usually I'll just be like, I'm good on this friendship, you know? But I will always, if it's someone who I feel like is just a good person and they made a mistake or they're having an off moment, like me and my best friend, we have gone through a lot of stuff where we have had to have sit downs and have a girlfriend talk or take a beat or whatever, but we have history. Yeah. So I know she's just a good person, period.
Yeah. Her intent wasn't to hurt you. Right. You guys just aren't seeing eye to eye at the moment.
Correct. So we have had our sit downs and we have gone through it. And that's what's important to me as a friend. Like, we need to be able to talk about
the communication. Yeah.
So most of the time I'm not a mean-hearted person. So I do want to leave someone not necessarily with a sour taste in their mouth about me. Yeah. But if you are mistreating me, then I'm going to just be done. Yeah. You know, just like some folks, anyways, y'all know some stories, but some folks like from the show where
Let's get into it. Let me take a sip first.
Child.
How cute are we keeping it is the question.
Well, you know, I'm transparent, so no one is not aware of the feelings, you know?
I guess we keeping it cute, y'all.
Girl, that show. That show.
I think that was like a test run on a lot of things with this show. Because even like what we're talking about with the new friendships, like I developed a lot of friendships from that show, even from y'all's season, including mine. And a lot of people are not friends. Not necessarily, we're not enemies, but it's just like we're not close. Lifers. Yeah, we're not lifers. Like we went through the experience together. I think you're in my life for a season, and then there was a reason for it. Yeah, and then we're good on that, you know?
Definitely believe in the reasons and seasons. And like you said, I think that those friendships that we formed on that show were like trial by fire. They were like trauma bonding.
We were trauma bonded.
We definitely trauma bonded with a lot of people and got close with people very quickly. Yes. But like you said, sometimes those trauma bonds don't last forever. Right. Now, I do feel like I did get some lifers out of that situation. Like you two ladies and a few other other people.
Yes.
But
we weren't even on the show together.
Right, we weren't even on the same team.
Everything happens for a reason.
Exactly. But at the same time, there were some friendships and bonds of people that were on the show that I thought were going to be lifers, but it ended up just being a season that didn't last a lifetime.
Like as the show becomes more and more irrelevant, or at least our seasons of the show become more and more irrelevant, right? Like there was less to talk about.
Yeah.
There was less to like, gather around, circle around, things like that. That's when I was like, oh, this relationship really isn't going anywhere. Yeah. What else do we have in common besides the fact that we had this crazy experience together?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
All we can talk about is Ready to Love and the issues that we had on the show and the issues that we had with people on the show. If I can't talk to you about my relationship, if I don't trust you with my secrets, if I don't enjoy the company when we're just talking about some random thing, whether it's culture, religion or politics or lifestyle or just my man was going crazy yesterday. If I can't trust you with those conversations and all we have in common is this show that we were on, then maybe you're not a lifer.
You're not a lifer. That's okay.
And it was unfortunate because there were some friendships that I thought were going to be lifers. But they didn't prove that way. And
I was disappointed by a couple. I was like, really? Okay. You say?
I was too. I was disappointed. But then I was like, I'm glad that I found this out now.
Yeah.
Because one thing you don't want is to have someone that you think is in your corner and they're really not. And they're just kind of sitting and waiting for you to fall, or they don't really care. What sticks out for me is if you're just checking up on me randomly, that like to me that's you really care, like
because we're all busy, right? So if you're taking like 30 seconds, a minute out of your day to be like, "Hey, girl, how you doing?" It means a lot,
right? Yeah. Or like, I haven't seen you in a while. Let's meet up or whatever. But I wasn't. Once I realized you're only reaching out to me for RTL stuff or for a photo op moment, or for it took me a while to realize because I would give specific people a chance. I'm like, okay, let me see if they'll actually show up, or if they'll actually reach out, or if once
you stop, like, are you going to actually initiate?
Is this phone call going to be about us and how I'm doing? And every phone call was an RTL update or what someone.
RTL someone is this and someone's doing that, and
so did you see this post?
Right, and then once I wasn't of benefit, once I didn't want to participate in that anymore, I started to see the relationships fade to black. Because for me, I had, as well as you guys, have a life and had a life previous of RTL.
Absolutely.
I've had friendships previous of RTL. Like I wasn't on the show just to become relevant or
for clout.
For clout or anything like that. But you start to realize, who was for you, genuinely for you as a friend, and those who were just in the experiment with you, So, but I'm okay with it because for me, it's not about quantity. It really is about quality.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the things I wanted to ask you about was like your opinions on making friends at work. Because I've tried it. Every time I've tried it, I've regretted it.
I have made lifelong friends from work previous, like in my 20s when I first started working. I made friends with like my bosses. Yeah. Ever since then, I don't make friends at work because of the messiness. And it also depends on my role there. If I'm like in a supervisory position or management position, if I have them, I don't make any. Because they take
even when those people don't even when you don't supervise those people,
right?
You still can't I feel like that's the same thing. I felt like at the times when I've had friends at work, work has always gotten in the way, or work has always been a factor that led to us no longer being as close. You know, right?
Yeah. So for me, I worked for this one company. So years ago, I was in my, I guess I was in my mid 30s. I was 34, 35. And so we shared they had everybody share an office. So I shared an office with another young Black girl. And I remember when she got hired, again, I was the only Black woman in the entire company at the time. Like as engineers, it's rare, and I hate to say it, but on my floor, there was no other Black female engineer. So at the time, I had the office to myself, and then they hired this other young Black girl. She was a little bit younger than me, and they were like, ooh, I don't know if they're going to get along. 2 Black girls in the same office together. They're going to share an office. They put us in the office together, and we became the best of friends.
I know who you're talking about. She's a sweetheart.
She's a sweetheart, Kiera. She ended up being a bridesmaid at my wedding. Like, we rolled up to my bachelorette together, Sabrina, Kieris, and I. And so it worked out for me. And I also will say, that some of my closest friends are the ones I made in my 30s and 20s and 30s. Like when I think about the bridesmaids, 2 of them I met as a teen. I met Janae and Kirsten as a teenager, but everybody else, all the other 4, I met in my 30s.
See, and you would think that, you're in this line of work, you have similar interests as me. Like, you would think that it would make it easy to start a friendship. But I feel like inevitably there's either some type of there's just conflict, like my role versus your role at work, or the way that like office politics is politicking. It's like it's coming in between the friendship. You know what I mean? Like,
and if you fall off, they have noticed some of your personal business, and they can tell other coworkers.
And there was and so like recently I had a girlfriend who you met, Takia, right? And I was like, oh, she is so cool.
Oh, she was dope.
Born the same year as me. Like we had a lot in common.
Another rare DC native.
Yeah, exactly. And, and like I guess she was having a really hard time at work. Got upset with me for some things that I couldn't control. You know what I mean?
That was work related.
Ended up hanging up the phone on me. I was like, what in the F is going on right now?
No true friend. That was a seasonal friendship, like we talked about.
And that was disappointing. Because I was like, oh man, I really thought that like you were gonna be like one of the lifers. Yeah. So now I'm like, no friends at work. Friends at work. Cutting it down and shutting it down.
I think it could definitely be hit or miss. I think you definitely have to be a judge, and you have to be very cautious. Like I
think I'm too late in my career.
I don't have time for. And also, like, I don't let people follow me on social media.
Oh, nobody even knows I'm on social media.
My boss follows me on social media.
I want to know. This is probably too much information, but nobody I work with knows I was on the show.
How?
Really?
I work with old white men.
Oh, okay.
I hate to say, and I hate that there's not a lot of black female engineers, but in my job, it's a lot of old white men. Nobody cares about.
Girl, I work in the nonprofit sector. There's nothing but black people. Everybody knows you're on the show. On this show.
That's so funny.
Everybody knows. They're like, Sabrina, I saw you on TV. And I was like, yeah. So yeah, work is a no-go.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. I don't want to participate. I'm good on it.
I love black people in my job so that I could make friends with them.
I will say this though, I'm cool with the networking. Like if I meet someone at like a networking event or a conference, reception, fill in the blank outside of work, even if you're in the same field as me, we cannot have the same employer.
I think you have to like slow roll it. I think that you have to be very cautious about what you share, make sure that it's nothing that can get back to work and cause issues with your career. But after they can really prove themselves and you can develop that friendship, I mean, you never know. I wouldn't discount having a friend at work.
But it's such a high risk.
It is definitely high risk.
It's a high risk type of situation when it comes to work.
The cost benefit.
Yeah, cost benefit analysis.
And like I will like my best friend though, me and her worked together, but it was only for a week. And I quit. This is when we were in our 20s.
What were you guys working at? Like shoot for
I was working at BB or something.
I worked at BB.
Yeah, we worked at BB. It was only for a week. And then I was like, I'm good on this. And I quit. And we only worked together for a week. And we've been friends for over 10 years. I was like, we gonna stay in touch because you're cool. And she's a lifer. And that's the only friend. But like I said, when I was in my 20s, because I worked in retail and all that, I met a lot of cool people and even friends that I'm friends with today. But I feel like the more serious your career is and the more loss, like the more of the risk and more of the losses, kind of like I've been more cautious on who I let close to me. And I keep it completely professional. Like I have some people where I talk about life stuff. But other than that, like I try to, I keep it numb.
I also realize that there's people who want to forge friendships with you because they think that you can help them. Like the opportunists. And that's another thing that I've come across when I was like, oh, you're just trying to align yourself with me. Because then it comes with some type of favor. Ask, can you weigh in on this? Can you share this? Can you do this? And I'm like, oh, this is what this was about.
Right.
This is why you've been in my face for the past like couple weeks. Oh, okay, I got it. That's another reason why I'm like, no.
Right.
At work. No new friends. No new friends at work. Sorry.
A healthy friendship is not just checking on you. You know, a healthy friendship is when you can be 100% yourself.
Yes.
You know, when you can have those ugly cries because you're having a bad day, when you can go months without talking to each other, but pick up
like you never left.
Yeah, like you never left. I have a friend. She is my sister. She's not even a friend at this point. We've known each other since we were 3 years old. And she lives in Texas. And sometimes we'll go 5-6 months without seeing or checking on each other. When we'll check, hey sis, I'm just checking on you. You good?
Yeah.
Like I know I'm always going to get that message from her, and I know she is a lifer. Like period. She can call me and be like, I'm done or I'm done with this nigga. I need you to show up. I'm gonna show up.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And I know that about her. And I feel like that is what true friendship is. It turns into a sisterhood. You know?
That's the type of friendship I need. I am not the friend, and I know, some people can see this as a bad thing, but I'm not the friend that's gonna be at, every weekend we're hanging out. I'm not the friend that we're going to be at brunch every Sunday. I got 2 full-time jobs. I'm a newlywed. I got a lot of other projects I'm working on.
Booked and busy.
I'm booked and busy. A little too busy. I'm going to work on that in 2024.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I need friendships that, number one, understand that just because I don't talk to you every week doesn't mean that I don't love you.
Right.
That they understand that, it might be a couple weeks before we hang out again. It might be a month before, this or that, we go to a big event, but it's no love lost. And I love our friendship because I think that we had to figure that out because, you're out and about. You are the social butterfly.
Energizer bunny.
Energizer bunny.
How she got that energy?
I'll calm down though. Brian has calmed me down.
She is at every event, and I am in my house. I'm either at work or at my home.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
It's cloudy outside.
I'm in the suburbs now. I'm no longer a city girl. I lived in the city my whole life. Now I'm in the suburbs and I'm far. So it takes me a lot to get out of this house.
I get it.
But at the same time, like those friendships that can understand, like just because I don't talk to you every day doesn't mean that there's no love lost. But at the same time, we still have to make sure that we're actively working the friendship and nurturing it. To make sure that the person doesn't feel like just a second thought.
Yeah, putting in some effort is important. And I have those friends that don't show up. And even with you, like, I don't expect you to, I'm not going to call Dakia at the last minute and be like, you want to meet up for brunch? Because I know that's not how you roll. I know you probably would roll more that way. It matters of what your schedule is like, but she'll probably show up, but I know with Dakia, I'm going to have to like, plan it, put it on the calendar.
Make
my
bad. I'm sorry.
But I'm okay with that. Like, that's who you are. But that's also what friendship is. You have to accept that friend for who they are. I have multiple girlfriends where I have the girlfriends who I know I can call at the last minute, be like, you down to go to this event? And they're like, yeah, I bet I'm down. Yeah. And then I have the girlfriends where I'm like, okay, we need to put on the calendar to meet up for brunch. I haven't seen your face in 3 months. Let's do this. And I have those friends and I'm okay with it. I don't take it personally, but it's just you putting in that effort. I know if I make the plan, they're going to show up. I know if we make the plan, you're going to show up.
So we're going to have a good old time.
That's embracing people for who they are. I love that part.
You gotta meet them where they are. Yeah.
Another thing that I love about you ladies is that although we all know each other and we're all cool, you guys don't expect to necessarily always be invited. Well, I don't know. You said you.
Okay. Here's the thing. I know my thoughts. This is a controversial topic because, as they know, most times I'm busy. My calendar is crazy. Busy. Okay,
she wants to invite.
I want to invite
anyway. I'm like,
she wants to be able to say no.
Well, yeah. Okay. It's not that I want to be able to say no. I want the invite because I might be free. I might be able to fit it in. But I understand from a friend's perspective, they get tired of inviting and me saying no. But I'm like, oh, I might could have made that one. I get it. Touche. Yeah, no, it's okay. I know I'm wrong on this one. But from my I might can make it. I might can slide through for 10 minutes if it's not like far.
Takia.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to make reservations in DC. You don't make a reservation at the restaurant and put 3 or 2.
If it's a reservation, I'm gonna be there because most of these restaurants you got to put a deposit on your card. So I'm gonna be there. Right. I'm gonna be there.
But you like, let me get that invite. Let me get that invite.
She wants the invite.
Yes.
I'm like, girl, I know you can't make it because I didn't book you 3 weeks ago.
If it's a day, all right, Tuesdays and Wednesdays she's teaching. No, like if okay, it's a Tuesday, she's not gonna make it because she's teaching that night or whatever. If you know that, I'm not going to get an invite. I don't expect that. But there might be a Sunday I'm free.
But I do appreciate that even in the moments where you haven't been invited, you haven't been like all like stank or upset.
I like y'all pictures on Instagram. Nice pic. I hope you ladies had fun.
Yeah. Or you're like short. You know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate that about you.
I used to be that friend though because I'm always ready to go. And if I see my friends out or if they went to brunch with 1 or 2 people and they didn't invite me, I used to feel some type of way. But now I understand like you have to also have that one-on-one time.
And allow people to
you need
develop
that separate friendship.
Space. Yeah. And so now I don't take it personally. I just do it as well. Like, okay, it was a lesson learned for me because I remember I went off on my friends because they had all met up for dinner. I was like, hold up. What is this and when did this happen and why wasn't I invited?
Yeah. Right.
You know, they were like, well, everybody has their different relationships with different people. And I'm like, I did take it very personally. But after that, I had to sit myself down and be like, why are you taking this so personally? I realized I have an extreme issue with FOMO. Fear of missing out. You know, or I wanted to be in the moments and stuff like that. But I also have to respect that people have their own times and their own relationships they want to develop. So I quickly grew up and grew out of that. So I do it myself. I just make my time.
You know what that is?
Growth. Yes. I had a lot of growth in DC. Lord Jesus.
Right. Make you grow up fast.
Yes.
I tell you that.
All right. So if you could name 3 celebrities that you would want in your friend group, who would they be?
Oh my God, does that have to be 3? Can I name 4?
Oh, 4. Do it. Okay. Overachiever.
I'm a little bit of an overachiever because I have my girl crushes. Okay. So Viola Davis.
Oh, I did not see that coming. Why?
I didn't see that coming at all.
She is that friend who one, I feel like she'll keep it real with you. I feel like she will show up for you. And I do feel like I like being around people who inspires me and who will help me to elevate myself. I feel like with her, she will drop those gems. You know, she will inspire me. She will elevate me to be a better person. I just really love Viola Davis because I follow her on Instagram too. So I see a lot of things that she posts and I just feel like she's just a well-rounded woman. Also, she has she's been married for a long time, so I feel like I can get advice from her when it comes to relationships and, you know, just dealing with that. I feel like she would be very transparent because she is very transparent.
Who else?
Oh my God, where's my list? Okay, I said Tracy Ellis Ross.
Ooh, good one.
For the fashion.
I
want to read her closet.
Yes, she's just a fun woman. Great energy. I follow her on IG as well. I feel like I just love her. She's also very transparent. I feel like she's very consistent. Like every interview, she's very raw.
Oh, that's good.
You know, I just like people who keep it real. Yeah. I'm very attracted. And that's why I love you ladies because we have sat down. We don't try to sit down and be like, I do this and I do that. My relationship's absolutely perfect. No. We keep it real.
I'm going to take my wig off. Yes. I'm going to be in a t-shirt.
We keep it real with each other. And we don't try to make it seem like everything's perfect. And that's what I do.
Or one-up each other.
Yes,
there's none of that. Yeah.
Taraji P. Henson. Yes. I really like her.
Okay. That's number 1 on my list.
Yes. She's very transparent as well. I feel like she's the sister girl. You know, she's going to be her no matter what room she's in. And I like that. I had one more. Oh, Angela Bassett.
Oh, you got a nice variety.
Yes. I was surprised by all of these, by the way.
Those are 4 friends. Yeah. Angela Bassett. I just think she's just a calm spirit. You know, she will bring my anxiety down. You know, she's
like the ultimate auntie. Like you just see her, you just feel like grounded.
Yeah, she reminds me a lot of my sister because when I feel anxious or I feel like confused or I need someone to give me great advice, I'll call my sister, my older sister, and she always just, let's take a beat. You know, I'm like, okay, you're right. You're right. She helps me to see a little bit more clearly. And I feel like that's what Angela Bassett would be as a friend. So
who are your 3?
Yeah.
Oh, now that you put me on the spot, I don't know.
You didn't think about this? Y'all gonna ask me the question.
We're gonna ask you, but we first. Okay. I'm kind of still in your list, except for, so definitely Taraji. She's a DC girl. We're going to relate number 1 on that. I think that we would be having a lot of good fun. I want to raid her closet too.
Yes.
I want to do Tracy Ellis Ross because I think she'll be so hilarious in an easy breezy kind of way. I got to go Kelly Rowland.
Oh,
you love you some Kelly Rowland.
I love me some Kelly Rowland. First of all, the girl's a beautiful girl.
Absolutely.
Face card never declines, and she feels like a girl's girl. Yeah. She's a girl's girl. I feel like
loyal.
Yeah, she's loyal. She just feels like she literally feels like somebody that would have already been my friend. Yeah. I mean, I know that's my 3, but I probably would even add in like a Lala. Anthony, a Lala.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, because I feel like she's another girl's girl. Like she's friends with every Sierra, so many. But when you see like her Lala's with Sierra, she with the Kardashian. I mean, I can.
Lost me on that one.
Okay. I like the girls.
I like Maya too. I feel like Maya is a beautiful one. Kept herself up.
Maya and I we danced together when we were kids. She's another DC girl. We did the Dance Theater Harlem residency program together. Love her.
I don't know much about Maya to say. I follow her also. I know she's a vegan and she's like very cautious on her health.
Gorgeous. She has not aged a day.
And I feel like she hasn't lost herself to be famous.
And I think that's the reason why I like her, because she seems very authentic in that
very
way.
genuine.
So that's one that I would add to the list for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know who else I would. Like, a part of me was kind of like, I want to put someone like a little ratchet in there too.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Like who?
I don't know. I was kind of thinking like Cardi B or Saweetie.
Okay.
Because those two came to mind.
I can do Cardi B.
I can't do Cardi B.
What?
I think
it's going to be so much fun.
I would not call Cardi B with none of my issues or problems.
But we would have a good time.
Oh, that's great. But she's not going to be my friend. She's going to be that friend that we can have a good time.
I feel like Cardi would ride for you. She'd be like, what happened? Like, I feel like she'd be like that type of friend.
I'll be Cardi's friend through you. She ain't going to be my friend.
That's hilarious.
Sometimes you can be good with friends through people. That's okay.
3 degrees of separation.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's game time.
Oh, the game? We have a game?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, Lord.
Okay, so we're going to play a game that says they are so. And so in this game, we are going to name someone and we want you to tell us the first thought that comes to mind when we name them. And you're going to try to get through as many people as possible, all right?
Okay,
yes.
the first
thing.
The
rapid fire.
Okay, oh Lord Jesus. My mouth. Yeah. Okay.
All right, you ready? Beyonce.
Talented.
Kim Kardashian.
Talentless.
Nephew Tommy.
Oh, you trying to clean it up? You trying to clean it up first?
Hey,
comes to mind.
Nephew Tommy, family oriented.
Okay. Meghan Markle.
Confused.
Ooh, okay. Cat Williams.
A firecracker.
TJ Holmes.
Ugh.
Really?
Okay. TJ Holmes, the guy. Chaotic.
Okay.
Tamika Lee.
Sure of herself.
Okay. Oh, Simone Redwine. Hey, Simone.
Crazy.
Will Smith.
Oh, God. Will Smith. What's the first word that comes for Will Smith? I loved Will Smith so much. So there's like a different word now. Because I used to be like a hero, like superhero. Now I'm just like.
One word, rapid fire.
Needs healing.
Okay, Mumin.
Oh, religious.
Okay, Jonathan Majors.
What's the word? I don't even know what word.
It could be what the thought or the word, the sentiment, whatever it is. Go.
Fake.
Okay.
Oh, Tammy Roman.
Ratchet.
Oh, Tyrone Wilson.
From
RDC.
Tyrone is. Oh God, why are y'all putting me in this position?
Are you gonna keep it cute? Or are you gonna?
Am I gonna keep it cute? Tyrone. What is the word? I don't know a word to use for Tyrone. Growing.
Okay, Nene Leakes.
Two-Face.
Ashley Darby.
Young.
Really?
She just gives me immature.
Okay. Martell Holt, Love and Marriage, Huntsville.
I hate them saying negative stuff. I have positive things.
You are a very positive person.
I am a very positive person. I actually like Ashley. So, okay, let me take it back about Ashley. Ashley seems energetic. I'll do energetic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Martell Holt.
Dangerous.
Okay. Mike Bless, the original Ready to Love.
Fine.
Okay.
Cornmeal. Cornelius and Camille.
Genuine. I feel like Cornelius is genuine.
Okay.
I think we're going to leave it there. So on that note, tell everybody, what else does Kheri Carter have going on? What's next for you?
Yeah, where can they follow you? All that.
Yeah.
Let me see. Okay, so you can follow me on I changed my name on IG. Kheri Cartier. Cartier.
Okay, fancy.
Yeah. But what's going on? As y'all know, I'm in a relationship. So we've been together 2 years now. So building on top of that. Working on getting my real estate license. So we're doing that. Decorating business is coming back.
Yes.
Working on that. I work for a political news media company. So that's doing well. We have 2 dogs.
They're so cute.
Loving our 2 dogs.
Rocco and...
We're still trying to... It's either going to be Apollo or Bruno. Y'all let us know. Do you want Apollo or Bruno?
Okay.
I voted Bruno, but now I'm saying Apollo.
You like Apollo?
I like Rocco and Apollo because I feel like it's a little bit like Rocky. Like Rocky, Apollo Creed type thing.
Oh, okay.
A boxing reference.
Well, see, Brian was going off of Godfather. So he loves Godfather. So Rocco and I think Bruno is one of the names on God. I don't know. Listen, I've had my dogs before, so I'm letting him kind of run this ship. But yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming by.
It's been great having you.
We're gonna have you back. We're gonna have you back.
I definitely want to come back. I definitely want to come. I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble after this show.
No, you kept it cute.
You kept it cute. You did. And we hope that you guys keep it cute all week, and we'll see you right back here next week for an all new episode.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.